farklı. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stream. Today, we will be trying to go from 30% win rate in SoloQ to 40% win rate. And honestly, guys, it's kind of a struggle. So that's what I'll be doing for the majority of the day. I will say tomorrow, I have an Apex collab. And the day after / the day after that, I may have something. I would say glue your eyes to my Twitter. I'm going to make an announcement soon. Ish. Yeah, I saw they buffed SoloQ, which is really weird. I don't think he was weak. Anyways, we're playing some League of Legends. I'll probably move my camera down to the bottom left because that yesterday I didn't realize someone actually like straight ghosted me, which is unfortunate. Banjo made a brighter explanation. It's fine. Loving the room setup. I'm used to that blank walls. Yeah, I know. It's not. It's nice to have something in my room. Let me check Guragar's schedule. Dude, I'm not my stream will not be a collab. It will be well, that's a lie. People might be there. Yeah, I was surprised that I got ghosted in Plat, man. Like it was unreal. One of the enemies came to my stream afterwards. It was like, "Yo, that guy was pinging everywhere your jungler was the whole game." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry, my bad, guys." I felt bad for my jungler. I was like, "Ugh, my bad." The Fury. Oh yeah, the dog got shot. Yeah, for sure. Rather than you get the report on my iPhone, yeah, just like pick up the phone, ring ring. Yep, Mark. Yeah, you know what to do. Yeah, hit him in the kneecaps. Mark has a team just to fucking knee people. They make one Ash Tryndamere joke and he sends them over, man. What do I ban? Dude, I've been banning Rengar just because I feel like I shouldn't. But the one time I don't ban Rengar, I'm probably there's gonna be a Rengar one trick on the other team. Xerath Nico. Oh, I wanted to try Ari today, and I wanted to try Kassadin, but I don't. How does Kassadin fare into Annie? I feel like useless. If it's has they buffed his ratio a little bit. How's my Zero garbage? But I mean, I could try. Annie is kind of annoying. Not a great matchup. That's what I want to hear. I mean, it's fine. I will just play. Kind of, dude. What if I played Malzahar? Yesterday's game pissed me off. Shaco, I'm mid lane, bro. I mean, I should probably just play Xerath or something, because like Xerath's actually pretty good. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Funny enough, this is the same jungler I got owned by last time. Wow, you're supposed to go Airy in this matchup? I did not know. Why do you go Scorch? Interesting. Vel'Koz got buffed? Oh shit! How? Wait, I love Vel'Koz, but I heard he kind of sucked. Vex? Oh, fuck you, man. Where's high elo start? Probably like bronze, actually. Like now that I'm playing the highest of elo. TF got buffed. I need to look at the buff things again, but it's okay. These kids in bronze sky hands, true. Not false. Do you feel like I ever need to run cleanse in this matchup? There's no way, right? Because I have anti-stun shield. It's 0.25 seconds, but in game I feel like I'm. Maybe I did. Wait, hold on. Let me go see. Does my camera block this thing? It does. Great. Okay, am I gonna lie? I kind of... Dude, I just walk up to try to get my mana flow ban proc. You watch Nick Merckx play Malzahar? Has he? What? Oh my god, my item didn't buy. Thank you guys. Holy shit. You guys are the best. Actually, I take back everything bad I've said about you in the last 1 hour. You thought I was trying to rush chapter? Holy fuck. I'd be in chat if I didn't start Dorans. You've only been live for 15 minutes? Yeah. That means you guys got a free 45 minutes of the shit talk, you know? What the fuck am I playing against, man? There's no way the Mid-Laner just blew Flashing Knight at fucking level 1, man. Inside my creep wave. Okay, well. So that my jungler doesn't die to their jungle right here, right?
First blood. Do not challenge fate's will.
Dude, I can't not say with this character. It's true, I did not say bot lane, so that was my bad.
It is in motion.
He's dead. Oh, good bait, good bait, good bait, good bait, good bait. You think he's up here? Like here? The jungler? No way, right? Surely I'll get looped on by this guy here, right? Cool. It's fine. Oh, okay. He owns. He owns. Oh. The worst part is my mid laner trolled this game. Oh my fucking god. Like, he didn't even back when I backed, so he lost a full wave doing this, by the way. He's down summoners, but all my lanes are dead. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I got my CS lead, and the main part of this matchup, which is hard, is right before, like, the pre-5 and then the level 6. No way this kills me, right? Ah! Fucking bear!
An ally has been slain.
Do not challenge fate's will.
Dude, that we're back? Yeah.
Ally has
Bro. It's fine. You want to eat my harass? It's no problem. I'm chilling.
Double kill.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. My bot lane will own. Don't worry. Late game, when I fucking one-shot this Rek'Sai, I'm gonna just beat this guy up. Don't worry. Will I max second? I max Q. Okay, just making sure. The big minion's worth 50 gold. Like, it's a lot of gold. It bounces to her, pretty sure.
Without question.
Enemy killing spree. Shut down.
Tibbers is a name, yeah, it's called Health Potion. Hopefully Rek'Sai isn't behind me right now from the top left.
Second sight ordains it.
Oh, I'm actually kind of close. Okay, hold on.
Do not challenge me.
I can just wait.
At once.
Silly Waffler, what about for 29 months?
An ally has been slain.
Someone said good 2-button press of the mini. What do you mean? Look at, I'm so skilled.
In due course.
Yeah, I'm pressing 3 and auto attacking.
It can't be a beckon. We are timeless. It is in motion.
An ally has been slain.
I tell you press space. I actually do press space to center the menu.
Without question.
He rushed QSS? The fuck is... There's no way!
Enemy rampage.
What? I'm like looking at his items, I'm like, there's something wrong with his item build. Oh no.
Your turret has been destroyed.
At once.
Like, I'm on 60 CS up mid, man.
Turret plating will soon fall. Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
Second sight ordains it.
Okay, I don't actually know what to build. Is it Rylai's? It is Rylai's.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Reduces motion.
Enemy killing spree. Enemies double kill.
Oh, I'm dead.
Enemy rampage.
Oh no, I didn't. Dude, I should have flashed earlier. That sucks. Wait, it's 17-3. Oh. Maybe it's not winnable. Bro, Mid didn't even play this game, man. Oh, it's fine. Whatever, man. Sure.
You saw the end, Malzahar. Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy dominating.
I am not blind to anybody.
Oh, I didn't catch her.
Enemy is unstoppable.
Without question.
Like, he's ulti. Alright, we won.
Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill.
God, he got Soraka ultied, man. Oh my god, man. There's no way. Oh. Perfect, perfect. We can win, we can win.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy is legendary.
It's okay.
Without question.
What do I build here? Can I just go void? Like, I just have to go damage, right? Like Death Cat Void. God.
Do not challenge me.
Wow, they weren't doing Baron. I'm actually kind of surprised.
An ally has been
Oh, they're
slain.
baiting it. Ah, I see. He has no MR, by the way. Zero.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Oh my god, man.
Your turret has been destroyed.
We have a GP? I mean, his CS is not bad.
It is in motion.
Anyway, Q said, bro, you don't have to. I don't. Mid did not play the game. This is like a game where, like, oh, their jungler got 4 kills in like 1 second.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, wait. I'm feeling some stuff. I'm feeling some things.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Well, she flashed instantly. Wait, did GB kill someone? Oh, wait, no, he didn't.
Running on him.
Without question.
An enemy has been slain.
I killed the carry, actually. Dude, I literally cannot go healing reduction this game. I have to flash this, don't I? Fuck me, man. This guy ultied over the wall, man. On my shield? You can tell the opposing mid laner has just fucking K-pop blasting in his eardrums, and he's just vibing. He's not even playing League. He's just having a good time. This guy. Oh, Oh yeah, we got Tower Gold.
Team has destroyed a turret. An enemy is unstoppable.
This one a good one? Oh, that one does look pretty good.
Second sight or danger.
Why did he blue trick me, man? This game is winnable. The thing is, I don't know if I can kill Scion. I have percentage health damage, and I don't know if it's enough percentage health. This guy is like a monstrosity, man. He had, how much life does this guy have? He doesn't even have that many stacks. But he's just fucking level 16. I'm level 13, by the way. Please. Please, man.
Your turret has been destroyed.
This is what Annie's best at. What Annie does is Annie, Oh, okay! Wait, the GP's actually smurfing. He's got his 3 cloaks. Not to be confused by 2 cloaks. Dude, this Soraka is healing my damage.
An ally has been slain.
But like, I can't really buy Grievous Wounds, right? Like, I need Death Cap to do damage and Void. Like, I can't buy Grievous. It's actually not possible. If I buy Grievous with my build, I'm gonna do... He won't even need to heal my damage. Long Embrace, dog shit item on this character. Yeah, I really wanted to farm a little bit more gold. I feel like its tanks suck. Yeah, but it's like, it was not supposed to be for tanks, you know? It's like Rek'Sai turned into a tank because he's fucking giga-enormous right now. $87 CS? No, it's 88 CS actually. Oh, we got it. Oh, we got it. We got it. It's over. It's over. We're back! Yes! Dude, them doing it right there, I could see it. I could literally see our win.
An enemy is dominating.
As was foreseen.
You have both? Hell no, I don't have to have both. What? There's no way this guy is allowed to do this, man. I'm dead. He take the whole tower and all of my teammates, man. His Sunfire did 700 damage to me. His Sunfire did 400 damage to me.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
We just rush Elder, I think. Why is this? We just need to rush it. I'm not even kidding. We just take the smite battle. Take the smite battle, man. We lost. Oh my god, I can't kill him. I can't kill him. My damage is gonna look crazy this game, by the way. Oh my god. No, man. Like, the damage is so irrelevant in this game because it's like, yeah, I'm hitting everything, but it's like, we just can't kill them. We'll play some ads. Oh my god, man. I don't even think Mouse is that bad. Like, seriously, what could I have played to kill the Scion? Only Azir would have been like the buster, you know? It's like, that's it. Everything else doesn't do enough damage. Tristana, I don't know if Trist could do enough damage. Because then, yeah. He would have just still stacked armor. You play that shit perfect? Oh, I don't know about that. Dude, I just think it's illegal what my mid laner got away with. That's so funny. He flashed, ignited level 1, lost the trade, and then because I didn't use pot and he did, and then he rushed QSS, and I'm like, okay. The lazy panda thinks of someone this stream. Brand is a counter. They buff Brand. Dude, I'm pretty sure Brand would have gotten one shot by that comp, by the way. Late game insult? Yeah, sure. But like, I wouldn't have lived to late game, I don't think. They gave Brand a 1.5 ratio. Really? I'm kind of interested, but he's so immobile. I'm kind of not interested. You know what I mean? Dude, what do I want to ban? Dude, Soraka's really been giving me some ick. I think Sion would have been fine. Without, I think Soraka was like the whole team comp was just such a perfect team comp. Like the Zeri got ahead. They had a stun bot mid. They had a frontline tank, and they had a bruiser that was really fed. Good melee that's also fun. That doesn't require auto attacking. I mean, auto attacking's fine. My biggest problem is just like I'm trying to think. Like I think that was just a freakish game, freakish accident. The real thing is maybe I should have taken Gathering Storm. Honestly, it could have scaled with Gathering Storm. Maybe not. I would have gotten 40, 50 AP. Wait, no, it's not 50, right? Oh, it is 50. That's so much, actually. What the hell? Yeah, I think it was just a unlucky issue. Nunu. Oh, I love it. I think all Nunu players are psychotic. But I need some of that on my team, I think. I do like me some psychopaths. What a play. Did they really buff Vel'Koz? They did it, right? I'm about to get baited and play Vel'Koz, man. This looks like a Xerath Ziggs angle really good here. I don't want to play Ahri into this. I'm down to try Xerath some more. Lissandra, oh, I'm good. Lissandra seems, how do I put this? Like I'm gonna feed my ass off. The thing about Lissandra in this situation is your range is just so bad. It's like, and you're diving into Kindred ulti, Anivia, like you're gonna get owned. I mean, you could definitely outplay it. It certainly is something that like is possible, but I just wouldn't recommend it. This would be good here. It's okay actually. I actually kind of fuck with Fizz here. But it's definitely like I'd rather just practice more Xerath. Lux buffed? Oh, they buffed Lux? Interesting. If the pretend that Camille doesn't exist, isn't this an amazing game? Yeah, but the Camille is what I was worried about. Like, that's like me saying last game, well, if my team doesn't go 0-17, I could win this game. And they did. Dude, this is such a... Can I walk up here a little bit?
That hold the universe together.
Did not hit.
Minions have spawned.
Ash needs to move. Ash needs to move. Ash needs to move. A presence of mind? Well, you're not going. That tree sucks ass. It for Xerath? He actually shoved.
But I shall remain.
Oh, he turned around for that. Except for Nexus Blitz. Nexus Blitz is okay. It doesn't, like, I've never been a super big fan of Nexus Blitz. Oh, damn, he one-routed? I did not think he would do that. I had to flash immediately there. I don't want to get chunked here. But now you just hug bot side really hard. So both mid laners flashes got blown. That's fine. This is really good for me. Pushing toward me.
First blood.
Okay, I like everything I'm seeing.
Emotions are only
An
distractions.
enemy has been slain. You have been
No way, man. Oh, he was just waiting. Unlucky. Skip.
executed.
Your demise beckons.
CS is really good, at least. I think the most important thing is for me to find the back timing for this book.
I stand
He's not 6 yet, so he can't shove back. We're going for a full reset here to grab book. I get ward here, really good. I'm not even in a bad spot. I'm literally 10 CS up, and it's just like getting Kindred is like, if she doesn't snowball, she's so bad. Yeah, I went too far there.
what I am.
Can mark on V? I don't know. Dude, I don't understand how this guy moves. He doesn't move in any consistent pattern, and he walked up there like, to shove. Oh my god. Skip.
Shut down. An enemy has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Okay.
An ally has been slain.
Why Olivia? How did Olivia even get a kill there? She was waiting bot the whole time to try to get a kill. I'm dead.
Everyone.
Well, that's unfortunate. Damn, she was up here already. I did not think that would be that. What happened? Dead. Thought maybe I could avoid it, but I mean mid flashed for it too.
The world forgot me. Now they will remember.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
That's so good.
I see the forces that hold the universe together.
Is that worded?
These chains cannot hold me. May crumble, but I shall remain. I am power incarnate. Who dares oppose me?
I got fucking spooked when I saw the Ash arrow there, man.
Killing spree.
Eternal.
Bot's doing a great job. Ah, we're probably fine. Played mid pretty bad this game. Got me dying to Kindred. This game was so bad.
Go, Wolf. Shine once more before the end.
An ally has been slain.
The eternal twilight calls for you.
I mean, mid missed a lot for that roam, honestly. I'm actually surprised a lot of the roams are working out for this guy.
Are only distractions.
Or I guess he TP'd there. I mean, that was probably worth.
An enemy has been slain.
And Ezreal is victorious!
An enemy has been slain.
This is a lane where the Anivia chooses how the lane plays out. If she wants it to be non-interactive, she can force it to be non-interactive. Wow, I didn't hit the cannon. Well, I'm sad.
I stand at the
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Wow. Got double buffs, Leandries. Okay.
all mine alone.
An enemy has been slain. Turret plating will soon fall. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Forgot me. Now they will remember.
Yeah. I had the flash there. Damn, I even dodged the thing, but I just died because he has so much damage. That sucks.
Bound, but not broken.
She's dead. Oh, never mind. The Gucci.
An enemy has been slain.
I see the forces that hold the universe together.
How come you didn't get a cool ascended animal body?
You have slain an enemy.
Back. I shoved this wave, I think. I just grab
Patience is a
I just got 5 kills in like, no joke, record pace. Like, how the fuck did I even get these kills? Okay, we're back. We're so back, actually. I get top tower too? Like, holy fuck.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Scaling before, like, actually I was scaling before. I can buy a full Horizon on this? Holy moly.
Executed.
That's pretty funny. Tries it better. I don't know. I think it's safer though. I'm gonna pick this.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Unstoppable. Double kill. Killing spree. Godlike. An ally has been slain.
This Ezreal does 0 damage.
Has destroyed a turret.
The guy used flash to kill the support.
An
What?
ally has
What
been
the?
slain.
I'm so confused, but I mean, I'm so strong now. Wait, I got so lucky this game. Like, I'm not even gonna call it skill. I just got super fucking lucky. This is an insane game for Medjai's too. As long as the top laner is behind, which he's 0-3. Like, I am. But the buy was too good. If you can buy, large rods are kind of hard to buy. So if I can get them, it's like super, super good.
The affairs of mortals. I am the will of man.
It's good, actually.
Flesh.
Kindred top side? Okay. I think Zera's more than Ziggs. I think Ziggs is much better for... I'm much better at Ziggs. Oh my god.
An ally has been slain.
Oh. He danced up pretty well.
Legendary.
My E killed him? Holy fuck, I do so much damage. Wait, yeah, the E did so much damage. not testing great. Oh, he wants it. I want it too. I actually think this play is not that bad. Let's go to get my first strike. Only 500? Okay, only might be a weird statement to make with that. 500. I feel like 500 is that, I feel like that's above average. The last game you deserved to be lucky. That's true. This game was very lucky. Like, I didn't play that well this game, honestly. Which is crazy because I played last game better, but I like the difference is just like ridiculous. Like I look good this game, but I did not play well. Oh, I should do glitch clear, you're right. Sorry, I'm like super autopiloting. Can we not force this? Yeah. I just backed for to sell this. They're not buying anything. That was a situation where I'm like, oh, we lost. There's not much you can do as Xerath. You just kind of have to, like, because if you miss your skill shots, then you're waiting. You're playing a waiting game. And whatever happens, you always have periods of time where you miss. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Team just has to be a little patient. Man, we lost Baron buff for this. Damn, I kill off every... She go for me? Wow. Waste the flash.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Legendary.
Fuck it. I believe in myself. I'm getting blue buff here. I believe.
I stand at the brink of infinity.
Holy moly.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We're ending the game. I think the biggest mistake I made was not shadowing bot lane roam when he got the double kill. I think before that point it was all good.
Has destroyed a turret.
I keep missing that. Back for Baron, and we're good to go. Pretty sure this game's pretty much over. I'm gonna just buy the blue pot. No way you lose Mount Soul? Yeah, it's pretty hard. It's impossible now. I just counter Xerath here.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. Double kill. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
No way! Scarra is in our elo. Oh god. Oh god. Ah, shit. Oh, wait, my win rate might be 40% now. Oh, I fucking own. I'm gonna go play some ads. Dude, I don't know. I feel like playing Ziggs is more enjoyable as well. Xera's ulti is really fun, I will admit, but the actual poking portion, like, I feel like Ziggs bombs that bounce are more fun to use than Xera's Q. And so if I had to choose between the two, I would probably choose Ziggs, even though I think Xerath is probably a better character. I will fail. Welcome for 28 months. Tepis shoot. Welcome for 14 months. Thanks for subbing. We do this state of the game after such a big break. I don't like mythic items, but they're getting removed. I don't like the mid lane meta, but it's getting changed. Aside from that, it's hard to tell because I haven't played enough. I played 20 games. That's not a thing. Like, I didn't even, like, half the games I play, I don't even get to play the game. I'm like observing myself lose pretty much. Oh shit, Lily fucking voiced something in Yamada-kun. That's awesome. This is the This is a very cute romance. Very cute. I think Ziggs is similar power level. I think he's definitely got some interesting stuff that's good for him, but it's probably a worse overall character. But he's better selfishly, if that makes sense. Like Xerath, I had a lot of people that could stun for me in that game or slow for me. That makes it super easy. But if with Ziggs, I don't need those people. Like I fucking just throw my shit and like I'm good. What are your picks be for silver? The picks will not be the problem for you in silver. Like you don't need a tier list to get to play silver elo. You just play like yeah. When I grow a beard, I'm Asian. Genetically, it's impossible. I can grow like some fuzz. Also, I don't like beards. I feel like the maintenance is annoying. 10-ban Soraka instead of Rengar. I'm kind of down to ban Soraka. Dude, I got a mosquito bite right here. It's so annoying. Like I can't. This is the most annoying spot to get a mosquito bite. Oh my god. Oh, it's like it's just annoyance. It's nothing else. Yeah, I shave once a day. Oh, I shave once a week. Jace Kaisa combo. I don't play Jace. My Jace is not good. Oh, maybe this is an Ari game. We would look good on a full-on beard, maybe, but it's like, oh. I mean, I'm down to give Ari a shot. I've never played this character before in my life. The new Ari, I did never touched before. This is my first game with her since the rework. What do people build on her? She gets built electrocute. Cool. What is mid lane? It's Brand or Swain. It's the best Ari skin. How many does she have now? I think Ari and Lux have got to be some of the characters who get the most skins, right? I feel like she has like 10 plus. Around 18. Oh my god. That is so much. Wait. I saw the Ari start W. I want to know if that's right. Oh, you do start W in this. Holy moly. You go CDR boots into Everfrost for this build? What the fuck? Oh, Everfrost on the horizon. Interesting. Yeah.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
It's fine. Do you see what happened though? I confirmed my mana flow, and so did he. The W is supposed to win level 1. I got it. I just was farming my stuff. Don't worry. I don't know if I should take an Ignite. I think that's kind of tough. So CDR boots into Horizon.
Minions have spawned.
Her meta build is to go Medjai's? What the hell? Okay, that's wild. It's like a Xerath build on a fucking champ that goes in. They got buffed. Did they get buffed? Alright, you play offset. I'm lagging right now. What the hell? Okay, you play offset here. Oh, look at that trade. What a fucking beast. But I forgot to auto one more time for electrocute, so maybe I'm not a beast. No way he leveled 2 roams, right? Oh my god. No one saw that. Like the creep. Oh shit. Who put that creep there, man? Who did that?
An enemy has been
Fine,
slain.
he'll freeze the wave here. No big deal. Oh, I probably do this because I'm greedy ass motherfucker. This allows me to potentially get another kill on the Ignite cooldown. Yeah, Brad literally didn't see it coming. He's like, what the fuck? Do you guys movement? Yeah, I know, but I don't play the character, so it's like, ow, man. Wow, that the procs electrocute just the. Wait, I thought you hit three abilities.
I carry the legacy of the Vasani.
Oh, the passive counts as application? Interesting.
An enemy has been slain.
He backed. Back for the amp tone?
An ally has been slain.
He did back for the amp tone. It's not even a bad back. Not like a punishable back by me. Damn, he has no regen. Isn't this guy dead this wave?
So much I want to see for myself.
he backed. Smart, smart. I'm backing for my shit. It's good.
Don't you think?
Okay. So I get 3, right? Do I get more?
Saw me
I
for
get 3 and it resets.
I'll never forget that.
Got it.
An ally has been slain.
Shall we?
Damn. Wooly's owning. Well played. Wait, why does this character feel kind of OP?
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I can one-shot wave with chapter at 7? No way I can. They let this character one-shot backline. Oh my god.
This place reminds me of home.
Shut down.
Oh, it's not one shot.
The world is mine to discover. How sweet. There you are. Come to see new sights with me.
It's only for one wave. I'm dead. Oh, he didn't hold me there. I'm shocked.
I am the wild.
I mean, I feel like I should stay. No, that's stupid. I just buy Everfrost here. It's Cannon Wave. I can buy Everfrost. Did I go CDR boots?
Memories are no longer mine to steal. They're mine to make.
Enemy killing spree.
I lived and live in eternity.
This guy's dead, right? As soon as he misses the W on the wave here. Let's not kill backline, okay? Never mind, I thought it killed here.
I'll have them chasing their tails.
Enemy rampage. An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Oh! Huh. Wait, my camera was so panned here, I didn't look at my mini map. Yeah, I was just clearing the wave of my ulti. Yeah, did not mean to dodge a shit at all.
I still remember his laugh.
I think I need to get 1 CS for... Wow, I mean, there's no way he's hitting, whatchamacallit. If he tricks the other way, he's just dead, right? Doesn't matter. Did someone just show there? Am I crazy? Okay, I need to buy. Someone was here, right? Okay, it was this way. Okay, I did see someone.
There's beauty in even the most painful memories.
50 by Dark Seal. Oh, I should have bought Dark Seal. Shit, you're right. You're right. Sorry. Forgot this character's core is fucking Magi's.
Live with no regrets.
An ally has been slain.
Oh.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I want to kill mid lane here. Oh, I charmed a creep or something? Yeah, I didn't hit the return Q. Oof. Oof. That sucks. Let's get. No, the return Q missed, right? There was no creep? Nah, there was a creep. For sure, I saw it.
The trail will follow. I'll follow it and then forge my own path. Don't tempt me.
An enemy has been slain.
Forget what it means to steal a life.
An ally has been slain. Turret plate.
One creep to 11 here?
Remember this moment.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
Ah, I missed my shit again. It's fine. I mean, how else do we get practice without all lady every time? The, my W aggroed the creeps, man! This game sucks. I need the W for move speed too, so it's not like I could have not used it. Also, I'm surprised he's huge, actually. No, I mean, I saw him on the ward here. I just didn't think he'd catch me. I'm really surprised he caught me.
I may have 9 tails, but I have unlimited lives.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I hear the wind singing.
An ally has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Her auto attack feels really good. I don't know. I don't know if it's a skin, but her auto attack feels really, really good.
Like this forest, I am wild. Your brother faced his demons, youngster. Time to face yours.
Free blue buff.
I'm living my best life. Your
I'm running. I see the play. Aatrox TP.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple kill.
Oh god.
Quadra kill.
Oh wait, I don't see the play.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Maybe I do sell Dark Soul here. Ooh.
Has been slain.
Does this even work on Ari well? I guess it's if you hit her stuff right. Does it work on her Everfrost immobilization? Oh, interesting.
mortal lives are so fleeting. Delicious. If I look back now, it's only to see how far I've come. I carry the legacy of the
Enemy has been slain.
10 seconds.
every animal hungers.
Enemy rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
Okay. her CDR scale is actually fucking wild. Alright, be honest with me. Do I really go Zhonya's here? I guess I do. Do I need more damage? I feel like I need some damage.
This place reminds me of
Maybe not.
mine to discover.
Oh, she has guaranteed feast on champion kill? I did not know that.
I lived and
I feel so scared pushing up. Oh, I don't feel that scared anymore. Wait a second.
Has been destroyed.
Fuck.
An enemy has been slain.
Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. I can wait like 5, 6, 7, 8. He's not doing it. Fuck. Damn, I should have kept pushing bot. That's my bad. I'm really to push mid and be closer to Baron here.
An enemy has been slain.
Oh, I clean this. This is over.
Killing spree. You have slain an enemy.
God. I see why CDR is a really great stat on this character. Her cooldowns feel like nothing. Like, literally nothing. Oh, I should not have. I thought I had one more charge, but that's my bad. I should have Zonya's that. Me turning around and getting hit was not good. Damn, I got fucking baited.
An ally has been slain. Has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Unstoppable.
Why is there Aatrox running into fucking Narnia here, man?
Dominating.
Live action, dude. I think the anime is gonna be, or live action is not gonna be that bad. Just straight up, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I know a lot of you are hoping for the worst, and I'm not big on One Piece myself, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Dude, I love Aatrox there. He literally just fucking looked and waited.
I won't forget the meaning of steal a life.
I've heard the best live action anime is actually Bleach, which I've never watched, but I've heard good things about it.
Remember,
You have to be careful, there's a Wukong behind.
Enemy has
Okay.
been slain.
I should have left home years
I fucking knew there's a Wukong somewhere.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I hear the wind singing.
Your turret has been destroyed.
No way that fucking hits. Wow, the rate of that's kind of insane. We have time. We have time. Yeah, I got Tipper there for sure. 7, 6, 5. No way. Is it not the ulti? That felt not live action was trash. It was funnier than I thought. It was way funnier than I thought. Like, I think actually Death Note live action was hilarious. I didn't watch the. I fell asleep during the Dragon Ball one though. I heard that one was like less funny bad and more bad bad.
Everything's more fun together, don't you think?
Oh.
I'm living my best life.
I don't want to use too much mana before this fight if possible. I do need to heal off one wave. I need my essence. There we go.
Mortal lives are so fleeting.
Shut down.
Oh, that is not good.
Yes, your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Oh, I missed. Oh, I missed. Oh, that is bad. Fuck. I tried. I think you always go for that there. I just fucked up. I just saw Leandri's Kai'Sa. Is that good? I've never seen one before. Oh, I have a full cap here. Holy shit. Cap blue buff? Okay. Oh no. We don't need that. It's fine.
I will always have regrets, but I won't keep running from them.
Oh, I didn't think he was in the bush there. I heard. Did you hear the monkey sound before that play? I heard something. And I was like, I looked around. I was like, I don't see a monkey. Whoops. My bad. Wait, he's actually okay. As long as they can win the back. They won the back. Oh, it's over. Wait, they won. They won?
Double kill. An ally has been slain.
Alright, this is where you stat pad, okay? Forget what people tell you. Stat padding is the best part about the game. Like, damn, you can hit so much CS. Yeah, I spent the last 20 seconds farming, baby.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Ace. A summoner has disconnected. Victory!
Isn't Death Cap bad item? Wait, Death Cap is one of Ari's best items. I'll argue that from that position, there's no better item than Death Cap. Boy did a good job this game. Oh, let's go! I'm promoted! We green now! This game felt weird. Ari feels weird. Like, I don't do that much damage on her, but, like, you're always reliable. Like, you can do a lot pick rate. All right, pick-wise. Let me go play some ads. Well, the leaders build felt really strong. Yeah, I mean I agree, but I just wanted to see how Everfrost felt. It's interesting she has multiple builds. Playing in Japan Joe Macho Vlog beside the Melanpan Asakusa, the only two places you have to go to is the Katsudon place and oh fuck. There's one yakiniku place that's so good. But I forgot the name of it. Those are the only two places I would like be like, you gotta go to these places. Queen Penguin, welcome back for 3 months. Thanks for subbing. Oh, the second one's not on the oh, actually, it is on the vlog. It's the one where I'm with Geary. That place is fucking insane. Melon Pad for the same place. I thought it was just okay. It's definitely well, in my opinion, it's above average. But I haven't had like a super good one. I think the ice cream in the area is better. But it's really weird to say go to the matcha ice cream place and get the black sesame. I think the black sesame ice cream is fucking ridiculous. Are you hitting challenger today? Oh yeah, for sure. Black sesame ice cream doesn't sound good. You've never had black sesame stuff. You're not Asian. I could tell. Black sesame is the goat. Like actually, black sesame is the best. Like black sesame. I love black sesame. Desserts so good. Like that savory stuff. It's more common on sweet stuff. If you move to Japan, if I had to do competitive AMQ daily, if I did competitive AMQ, I would just quit. No, I'm not Asian. Yeah. Black sesame is my favorite ice cream flavor. Just throwing it out there. I love mints, but black sesame is just the top. Melon pants is vastly inferior to pineapple buns. Ooh. SF SF has some insane pineapple buns that I would probably agree with you. Because I'll give it a try. It's common in like I don't know, Asian supermarkets. Texture of the toppings is worse. Ooh, like floral ice creams. I don't. Commonly, I feel like the flavor lacks impact, and it's bought for the aesthetic, for floral ice creams. I'm not like, wow, holy shit, I had a rose ice cream. I'm like, okay, it looked pretty. Usually. Are you talking about the one Pineapple King? Oh yeah, Pineapple King is so good. They literally put a stick of butter into your pineapple bun, like, and it's so good. Like the butter is so good. I'm fucking, oh my god. It's you have no idea. Okay, let me go look at. Like let me. Oh my, let me show you where it is. Okay, this place, okay? Pineapple King Bakery in San Francisco. This is the standard pineapple bun. They do pineapple buns with butter, which sounds disgusting. Like who would eat a block of butter? It is so much better than you could possibly think it is. It is so good. Like so good. Sounds like cornbread. I just had this talk with someone in my house yesterday who said cornbread is the worst. Never had good cornbread before in his life. And he would much rather get something else. That's what he said. I think commonly the formula to make very dry cornbread, I'm not a fan of anymore. I've had some experiences where I eat pretty fast, and dry cornbread has on multiple occasions gone down the wrong pipe. And I know that's a personal problem, but I like cornbread with a little bit of moistness or a little bit of juiciness. I think there are places, yeah. Like cornbread with your butter. I feel like how much butter goes into cornbread? There's a lot, right? Like this. You don't always make it butter, really? Yo, the subtitles are there for people who want it. And if not, you can turn it off. It is an accessibility feature that I added to my stream because I thought, hey, that would be kind of cool. Often made with lard? I did not know. Boxed cornbread is pretty good. I feel like boxed like cake mix and cupcakes have gotten really good nowadays. Like you don't have to hand make your stuff. Like your stuff is like the box stuff is really good. What am I playing this time? I've played so many different characters, man. Wait, did they nerf this character? Oh. Wait, was it today or yesterday? Certainly it wasn't today, right? Because it'd be really bad if they nerfed it today. Oh. Someone dodge. Someone dodge. Someone dodge. Someone dodge. Nah, it's fine. I'm gonna own. I'm a statistical anomaly. Okay, am I a bitch if I go cleanse here? Yeah, I am. I'm not even ask. Yeah, I am. Never mind, I'm good. What's her win rate today? Probably like, don't worry about it. Oh, I've been wanting to play with Elise. Is Elise? I think Elise is really good now. Really, really. Oh. Trying to feel out how I want to do this, but I don't really know.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And unleashed.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And
Do not confuse Scarra with stupid.
it's cute that the dogs follow this.
With stupid. Do not confuse Scarra with stupid.
Minions have spawned.
Let us expand our feeding grounds. What creature is fool enough to hunt in our domain?
Wait, am I just a statistical anomaly?
The world is full of such savory little birds. A doomed hound leaves nothing, not even the bone.
Alright, got level 2 pressure.
Humans are petty, tear at their pride.
Is this character just OP? No, I'm pretty sure the other player is playing this lane. But in
First blood. An ally has been slain.
The pack
My bot lane got dove at level
An
2.
enemy
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. Cross kill. Good cross kill.
Coordination, not chaos. It's lonely at the top of the food chain.
Oh my god, did we get out? Bro. Bro. Sure. What?
enemy double kill.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Cannot die. Will in time devour all.
What the heck? This guy goes Hydra Eclipse? Is that good?
Our kind had such a proving ground once. All it proved was avarice. Even Darken need to eat.
Their support just runs out, or I think I got ignited by her, right? Bro.
We never release our bite, even if the blood chokes us.
My bot lane is 0-3 instantly.
The jaws of victory have many teeth.
Nice kill, nice kill. Farming till Hydra, and I can't really roam till boots. Hell no, we're not contesting this with Annie. Oh.
An enemy has been slain. Ally has been
Like, I have no pressure this game, man. It's so hard for me to do anything. I hope we can recover this later, because it is not looking great right now. I'm not going to be able to go CDR boots against Annie, so I'll just go Mercs here, and then I'll go Mercs into Eclipse Hydra, Eclipse Cleaver, Eclipse Soretias, whichever one feels more better.
Never falter.
Nice. We need something like this.
An ally has been slain.
God, that was so close. Okay. Well, let's grab boots too. Let's grab Eclipse. And then let's go Hydra after. Or the other item. I wonder if Conquer is good now.
has been slain.
$200. I mean, I see the karma here. Oh, I can't do anything. The opposing jungler. Is that dragon? So walking up here seems a little hard.
An ally has been slain.
I really want to all in this person, but
Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy killing spree.
okay. Thank you.
Shut down.
It's great. Good kill. Did I get it? Oh, I also got the thing for it. Awesome. Where's Eclipse?
Shut down.
Nice, nice. Really good. Seen Briar gameplay? Yep. Your thoughts? Looks cool. She's literally Nakes. The life stealer. That's how it feels like. Cool. We're just chilling. I don't even know if that guy can kill me.
Has been slain.
Like, their support is literally their second jungler in my lane. I'm not really able to do much. I'm gonna defensively ward here. I feel like this is already pinked.
An enemy has been slain.
Humans are petty. Tear their pride.
Enemy double kill.
That's two jugglers here, man.
Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
My bot lane is just feeding out of control. It'd be okay if they're feeding stuff that didn't scale, but they're feeding like Vayne. And that's kind of hard for me to deal with. Riven as well. Like Riven is able to go Tabby. I'm forced to go Mercs. Feels bad.
falter.
Ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
Never falter.
Enemy killing spree.
Sa Elisa Kiri.
Oh, fucking bad. It's my cue, man. Let's go.
Been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
The time to top is over.
Enemy rampage. Enemy
Like-
ace.
Oh, this game was so bad.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
I mean, the Forest is okay, honestly. Okay.
An ally has been slain.
Okay.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Never falter.
Okay. I'm trying to think what to build, and it's like, well, I guess I build Cleaver, right?
I could have led them. I could have dominated. But there is no I. Only me.
An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
This game sucked. I'm literally just. Oh, I just got like fucking double jungle mid, man. It's hard to even keep vision up. It's just a game where I needed to just farm and pray to God that something happens later. It's like impossible for me to go in and get out again against Annie. I just get owned, I guess. Play some ads. Gigabot gap. I don't think Seraphine AD is bad. It's just like you just can't feed that lane like 6 kills. I think it might be die twice. It just the one thing that sucked was after getting the kill on the mid dive, I would have. I you know what? I should have played Talon that game. That was my win con was playing Talon and being up. I got it. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be that guy. That Talon player. You may have heard of me. I'm playing against Lulu, the first game. That's okay. No problem. Oh, interesting. I wonder if I go, Show me the weird pick. I mean, it's a little off meta, but it's not bad. Oh, this game. High mid lane matchup. Yeah, it's 2 assassins. But his name is Worst Riven World, but he's not playing Riven. I feel like I should have taken Electrocute for this game. You feel me? Damn, I thought they were gonna like pick AP, but none of them picked AP. So it's all Lux to go full damage. Sure.
Seconds until minions spawn.
Have you anything to
Should I
offer but
play League again and save my happy world? I mean, I think League is fun with friends. I think the weird part about playing League is at some point you have to be good at League to enjoy playing League. If you're not playing with your friends every game. Like, it's not one of those games where you can like pick up and be like bad at but still have fun. Like, if you're bad at this game, like, you shouldn't play it.
Minions have spawned.
Because you're not going to enjoy it.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
I feel like I should have banned Lulu. It really is bad here.
Let's finish this quickly.
Spaced out. Both W's or both Q's.
Will wet my blade.
Who's he lose one CS there though.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
You think I'd kill her there in all in? Nah, I don't, right?
Underrated. This is my favorite.
The way you play against Akali is she has a limited energy bar, okay? The way her energy, her thing works is she needs half of her energy for one Q. And so if she doesn't have her energy, then she can't play the game. I didn't get the auto or the ignited there. Back on a good wave too. Or not the greatest wave, but that's what I wanted.
I never compromise.
Goes top.
This is no challenge.
So the way Kali's supposed to play this matchup is she's not supposed to get hit with both parts of Q. It makes her like impossible to play the game, pretty much. Also, why did I just dematerialize there when I had the wave shoving to me and I had kill pressure? Oh, that's probably not good. I'm the pressure bot here. Mid's gonna want to shove.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
I don't think I shove all the way. I'm just holding one here.
Let's finish this quickly.
Can't dive bot here. My job is to kill the jungler, actually. Oh, I can dive bot, actually.
An enemy has been slain. An has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Fools pledge life to honor.
Am I supposed to triple dematerialize the backline? Anyone know? Fuck, I don't play this character. I fucked up, I fucked up. I actually could have died there. Well, maybe not die, but I put myself in a really bad spot there.
On the razor's edge.
She's all in that. She's not 6, actually. She couldn't have all in that, but she could have chunked meat for half.
There's nowhere to hide.
An enemy has been slain.
Whoa. The Twitch went top and died? Wait.
Another body for the god.
Oh, they're fucked. They're fucked. They're fucked. The only way they win this game is if Twitch gets ahead. But
Don't cross me.
You have slain an enemy.
I never compromise.
oh no. She missed the fucking thing. The guy is so sad. If he hit that, it would have been great. The guy's level 3 farming mid.
They won't survive.
She missed? I'm so surprised that missed. That hitbox must be tiny, man.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Am I supposed to get Yomu's or do I get the other one? That's the real question. I don't really know.
This blade is my favorite.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Let's finish this quickly.
This guy's 15 CS, he just gave up bot. Like, literally, he just tilt roam the game away. Like, that's cool.
Enjoy the taste of steel.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill. Killing spree.
On the razor's edge. There's nowhere to hide.
I kill her with Ignite, I'm pretty sure.
Don't cross me.
Rush Axiom? No, no way Axiom's actually a good thing, right?
I never compromise.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm in trouble. Man, the fucking Lulu's still here. That's fine. I would have died anyways there. I got hit with something really bad there. How do I itemize this? Let me go double check.
Your allegiances mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I don't really want a lane. I want a lane against the jungler. If that makes sense. Like, fuck lane. Like, laning is literally me just hoping she runs into the second portion of my W. If she doesn't, I coin flip if she hits her E. And if she does, well, then I'm in trouble. I feel like that's not a great way to play the game.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I meant to sweep.
Double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
I meant to sweep. Shit.
Rampage.
Their bone will wet my blade.
I'll be right
Has slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
Bro.
An ally has been slain.
I never compromise. Pathetic.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
They won't survive.
An enemy has been slain.
Your allegiances mean nothing.
Shut down. Double kill.
Play that buffs from the other jungler.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Let's finish this quickly.
An enemy has been slain.
Yep.
Only fools pledge life to honor.
Oh, my camera was panned in a bad direction. Oh. Wait, that's all me. Wait, they wouldn't have went in without my gun. I did that. I want to go. here.
There's nowhere to hide.
Thank you.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Is bot lane owned this game, actually? Nice carry.
Don't cross me. I never compromise.
Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
I'm afraid of keeping Alawi up for too long because you know bad shit happens sometimes.
Enemy double kill.
Your allegiance.
An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
Let's finish this quickly. Only fools pledge life to honor.
Oh my god, that guy is not having fun.
On the razor's edge. There's nowhere to hide.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
Wow,
Shut down.
my mana. It's okay. I wouldn't have killed him anyways
Ally
there.
has been slain. Shut down. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
What do I want eventually?
An enemy has been slain.
Cleaver.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Wow, this Lux is 20
Ally
stacks.
has been slain.
Don't cross me. I never compromise.
I think it's W.
Have been slain.
There's no way that the knockup interrupted my Q, so I didn't get the damage or the stack off, or would have killed him. Man. Yeah, would have killed with Dustblade though.
They won't survive.
Don't worry, guys. I know what to do.
You have slain an enemy. Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain.
Let's finish this quickly.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Double kill. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. You have slain an enemy.
Damn, the Twitch all chatted immediately and flamed his jungler. I knew that was gonna happen. I fucking knew that was gonna happen. Keen Solomon 70, welcome back for 15 months. Thanks for subbing. I mean, bot lane playing great this game. Like, my team was just so good. I mean, I solo killed mid lane, but like, that doesn't super matter. That's pretty irrelevant. Wow, the support Lux top DPS. I mean, this game was easy. When you solo kill your mid laner at like level 3, like, you already know this game is gonna be easy. And then I killed the jungler at second red. You know, as soon as I did that, the jungler's just tilted instantly. Let me go play some ads. Actually, I need to pee. If this pops, it pops. You guys know the best thing about winning VCT? Did you guys see that the VCT players got their own title? 2023 VCT champion. And a gun buddy. That's sick. Imagine being able to flex that in your fucking solo queue games. Yeah, I won Worlds. Yeah, I fucking did it. Yeah, I won Worlds. Oh, yeah. What's up, Ori? Wait, am my win rate kind of evening out yet? Yo, where's Danny? Is Danny at whatchamacallit, Diamond? Yeah. Masters? Still know your monumental mistake? Oh. Let me upload something for you. Danny still got it. Yeah, Danny still got it. Danny's a beast. I'm washed, man. But Danny could still probably hit Challenger if he played. I think Danny Kitty are the people who are least washed. Doesn't Tat nowadays? A lot of times I play Cat, I don't feel like I played better than the enemy, but then they made more mistakes. And it's kind of annoying. Hope I have a good day. Thank you. How do you feel about Ryan winning more splits per year? I think it was a bad idea before they buffed the MMR gains in the last 6 months. Afterwards, I just feel, I don't know, man. I feel like League players have this really weird thing where sometimes they don't like change. Not like, I don't necessarily know if it's that negative or that positive than 2 splits. I feel like because it's different than before, people automatically hate it. I think it's normal to actually dislike change. Be curious of the humble yourself, idiot. Oh. I can't. This gun?
I wasn't watching
What
Scarra, don't worry.
goes
I
up?
wasn't
My
watching.
cursor
I wasn't
is
watching.
down. This. It says I can't climb over the season. I mean, I think that is a problem, but it's also just like, I don't know, man. Maybe make it easier to climb if they want to do that. Okay, I'm jungle. Do I really care about any of the junglers? Hecarim's annoying. Do they buff any junglers that I play that I wanted to try? It's weird because I kind of like champions like Belveth, but I feel like she is kind of hard. Send buffs? Interesting. Do you have Apex updated? I'm just gonna do it tonight. Yeah, Apex. I have practice tomorrow with my squad. Who's in the squad? Emily and Blur. 2 people who are gonna carry my ass, if I'm gonna be honest. Jungle? I don't know what the jungle. Apex, you have Apex to get a break soon? How about some Apex? Oh, you're a problem. Well, I heard you're doing the Baldur's Gate 3 campaign with them. This is such a weird combination of characters. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to play here? Rammus? I kind of want to play Rammus. Jarvan? Oh. My Amumu. You know, at one point I was a top 5 Amumu in NA. I think because there's only 6 people playing him. Does this look right for a rune page? That looks kind of scuffed. Nah, I'm gonna re-entries this game. No way this is the right rune page. Like, no fucking way. I refuse to believe it's possible. No AS while jungling is default. I'm pretty sure Amumu is an exception because you cry, and the attack speed doesn't scale with your crying. We're pushing 40% win rate, bro. We might even hit 42. What is my win rate right now? I think I won a couple games. Let me go double check. I think I'm at 42 right now. Oh hell yeah, I'm at 43. Wait, sorry, I'm 41. Sorry, I got a little too excited. 41? Do I enjoy feet? No comment. Will you be playing Briar on release? Yeah, probably.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Guys, am I doing this? Yeah, I do this. Is lethal right? I don't play Draven. Dude, I'm still convinced Draven players are like, they just pick whatever the fuck they want. Like, their rune pages don't matter, their items don't matter. I've seen the wildest Draven pages and items. I'm just like, alright, I guess double crit cloak Kraken makes sense. Bro, I did not need a leash. I'm fucking a Mumu, man. I appreciate it though. You want to drag it out toward the bot side here. You hit the other one to apply the debuff.
First blood. An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. You have slain an enemy.
Oh.
Down.
Got one.
Wait, I think you kill him. No, he misplayed, man. No way he's supposed to die there. He's fine. He's got it, right? I'm not even gonna look.
An enemy has
Yeah,
been
he's got it. See?
slain.
Oh.
An ally has been slain.
Wait. Let's do an 80.
I see you.
Come play with me. Okay.
An ally has been slain. Ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Shut down.
That was good. I tried to get the other guy, but it was like, okay. I think Zed got both kills? Well, one kill. We split kills there? It's pretty good.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Oh, I mean, they cross-killed. It could be worse. Could be a lot worse. I mean, I get 9-minute boots here. It's 30 seconds off every assist, right? 45 seconds. Wow. So I do this. Good harass, good harass.
Let's find some friends.
You don't want to smite these smaller camps because these smaller camps you actually clear really fast. You want to save it for solo camps, you know, because you don't get as much E tantrums. Takes fucking forever, actually. Oh, there's no way.
An ally has been slain.
Oh no, he was here to dive? I am so sorry. That's definitely my bad.
Where are we going?
My AP isn't enough to one-shot backline there too. That's so sad. Man's panicking. I didn't panic at all. What? I was going for creep and then one-shot the backline. Did not work out.
Let's find some friends. Come play with me.
Is he hard? I think cat. I pretty much never want to play cat again. If I'm gonna be honest with you.
An enemy has been slain.
Let's find some friends.
An ally has been slain.
Fuck.
Okay.
Oh, I can't hit. That sucks.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
So good.
An ally has been slain.
Wow.
You have been slain.
Should just flashed over, man. The fucking wall was so annoying. I thought I could get like not in tower range, but it like the thing was just perfectly placed to where I was gonna get owned there. Yeah, this game felt like so bad by me, but I'm sure I'll win out this game. Like, I'm not even worried.
Let's find some friends.
An enemy has been slain.
Top's doing great. Bottom's doing great.
Okay.
Ally has been slain. Double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret.
Aw, sucks. What do I want to build here?
Turret plating will soon fall.
Demonic Abyssal? Well, I'm definitely not building Abyssal. Kind of want to build Death Cap.
Let's find some friends. Come play with me.
Have you ever seen Death Cap? A Mumu AP, by the way. With Leandries, you can actually solo Baron at 15.
Okay.
Dude, it's her. I swear his model just looked really weird there.
Where are we going?
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Come play with me.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Let's find some friends. Okay.
Enemy killing spree.
Come play with me.
An ally has been slain. Shut down. Enemy rampage.
Let's find some friends. Where are we going?
Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
I know demonic.
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
It is here.
Enemy killing spree. Shut down. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Wow.
Where are we going? Come play with me.
An enemy has been slain.
How did they?
Shut down.
Okay.
Yep. Still winnable. I'm telling you, Amumu has some really cheesy shit when you play AP. Not only can you one-shot people, but you can do some stuff like that. Where the kitty cat ears? Dude, I played Mouse, and it was the worst game of my life. Not saying it was Mouse's fault, but there were some demons in that game.
Where are we going?
We started 17-3. We were 3, and it was like I was so fed, but I couldn't kill anything. My AD is struggling with the wolf camp this game.
Let's find some friends.
I'm not alive!
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed a turret.
This guy said we lose, that's nuts. Yeah, I played this game so bad, but honestly,
Your team has destroyed a turret.
the Baron was crazy.
Come play with me.
Make sure not to throw the game before. For Dragon. MX W second. Does the other thing does nothing for you AP wise. Like you're getting maybe a team fight before you die. Because you're not tanky. W is better to max and you can kill Baron with it. It's way better for Baron cheesing, which I feel like is like half of this guy's fucking usefulness is like being able to just cheese Baron.
Come play with me.
I'm worried about. No.
An ally has been slain.
Be ready.
Did some? What, that's a voice line? Okay, you're a dope. She said that's a trap. Be careful or something. And I was like, what? This is a terrible back spot, by the way, because we need control vision here. But we cannot. I can't fucking do it. Oh.
An enemy has been slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Enemy killing spree.
Dude, we gave up position on this drag. It's so bad. Was W off? No way.
Okay.
The enemy's inhibitor is respawning soon.
Holy fuck.
Shut down.
Okay.
Aced. An enemy has been slain.
Oh, holy moly, we won that.
Team has destroyed a turret.
Wait, this guy got his third evolve at 29 minutes. Oh no, man.
Destroyed an inhibitor. Your team has destroyed a turret. A summoner has disconnected.
Yes!
Disconnected.
I played that game half really well, half really poorly. But we won, so let's go. I tried Briar. Nah, I'm not interested in PBE. League on PBE is like, eh. Yeah, I think when you play a Mumu like this, it's not very good. But the one thing you should know is that you can take Baron with 2 people at any time. If you have someone tanking if you have a tank, you do all the damage, or you you can tank. So like as long as you know that, it's really annoying to have to play against a jungler that can at any point sneak Baron. Wow, Killer Cutie, welcome back for 8 months. Thanks for subbing. I'm gonna play some ads. Do I want to play more? I wanted to call early today. Is it rank after Emerald? It's Diamond. Dude, I'm just saying, this is where we started, okay? Okay. Okay, 41%. Wait, hold on. They have one more game. 43%. Woo! What's my win rate? Wow, really? I have an 80% Lissandra win rate? Wait, I feel like my Lissandra games suck ass. I'm 1-4 with John? Wait a second. I'll return GG's, man. You cut me the Baron with me, won us the game. Like, GG's. Especially because I haven't played this game in a while. I wasn't sure if I could even do a Baron. But I was like, I hope it's still the same. And it was. Damn, I have a 50% win rate with Ziggs and Xerath? Fuck, man. Dude, I swear I'm better at this character than all of my characters. Oh, 100% Ari, 100% Amumu. 100% Ezreal. Oh, Lenil. Welcome back for 12 months. Thanks for subbing. Thank you for the years of awesome content. Here's to a lot more years. I mean, how many did I play today? I have played. I started 2, 4. I played 6 games today. Nah, I got it. I'm done for today. Like SoloQ win rates. How am I so low at flex, man? I feel like my flex win rate Is not that really lose all the time in flex? Feels weird. You keep better track of progress. You wrote down every game, perhaps in a notepad program. Nice try. If you guys want it all the time in flex, you probably play more. Oh, I'm definitely the guy to run it down in flex though. I'm gonna find someone to host. Maybe someone without many viewers. Okay. What is this? Oh, I'm down. I'm hosting a new VTuber. I think it's pronounced Churchy. I do not know. But I've seen her around. Give her some love, guys. I'm out. Have a great night.